Hi, everybody. I took a card today and I wanted to share more about this card with you today. And the card, you can look at it. It's a card, Earthed, learning how to be human in a world, but not of it. And what came to mind is the question that I got asked many times. How can I live an open-hearted life? How can I open my heart unconditional without closing it down by feeling so much, by seeing the suffering, by seeing the pain, being in a relationship where, of course, there's triggers that hurt us, that remind us on old programs that we carry, most probably from childhood and other lifetimes, that repeatedly tell us that we are not good enough, that we are not lovable, that we are not belonging, that we feel the feeling of rejection. There is feelings of sadness, there's feeling of frustration and anger, and most people I work with and most empath and highly sensitive people and highly intuitive people, we tend to hide away. We tend to hide away and be in our little cave and not really letting ourselves to be fully human with all the emotions and what it means, and to be really fully enjoying or diving into the experience of life on this planet. What I feel strongly guided to share today is that it's really important to understand that this world, this three-dimensional world, is a reflection. We are on a human journey, right? We are on a journey of remembering. So we have come here to learn things about ourselves, and most of all, to get aware of ourselves, that we are creation itself, that we are divine love, that we are joy, that we are that feeling of belonging. We are all that. But of course, through a lot of conditioning, when we are coming into this world, we start to believe that everything is outside. We start to having expectation to the outside world, to the reflection really of ourselves, that gives us something, that it gives us love, that it gives us confirmation, that it gives us joy, fulfillment, abundance, whatever it is. And of course, as long as we are seeking that on the outside, but not feeling that within, and on the opposite, feeling this lack within, we will that experience. That's going to be our experience, because we have to realize that we are all that. But what does it mean to be really human, and at the same time to be human and in the world but not of it? I feel to say now that first of all, we have to understand that human emotions and feelings, especially all these triggers that we experience, they are the cause of those triggers are always in the past. When we feel emotional, when we feel sad, when we feel anger, it has nothing to do with the present moment. If we could be completely in the moment, we just would be. There wouldn't be a good or a bad. If we just could be present in our heart, in this now moment, there wouldn't be a good or bad. There wouldn't be an angry or happy. There wouldn't be a joy or frustration. We just would be, and we would feel that feeling of just beingness and bliss, we say, the bliss state, right? If we reach sometimes these little moments, maybe in a meditation, there's these little moments of bliss where just everything seems to dissolve. But life is happening, and we still want to engage into the emotions that are obviously based in duality. What helps us to meet that, and despite all the triggers that we experience that may cause hurt or pain, is to realize that At that moment, it's really important to leave our hearts open, to let go of our mind, to let go of the normal program of protection to hide and close down our heart, but just to come back into the now and just to sit and come, let go of the mind and just to feel the emotion, to really let it go through you, to really embody it, to honor it, and to feel it, to fully dive into that emotion, to realize that it subsides because it just wants to be heard. And we can even ask our heart, where did I feel? When did I feel this emotion the first time? Because it will be in the past, the cause will be in the past. But what happens is that once we have experienced something that really hurt us, for example, each time a trigger comes from the outside that remembers this event, it will cause the same emotion as if that happened just now. But it has nothing to do with that person in front of you or the situation in front of you, because it lies in the past. So ask yourself, ask your heart, what part of me, which part of me feels that emotion? When did I feel it the first time? And if you get carried there, talk to that part, that you tell this part that that this part is loved, that it's belonging, that it's love itself, that it was a misconception that it get rejected, or it just was a feeling, interpretation of it. And of course, there's physical hurt that gets done also to people. But then talk to this little girl or this little boy and tell it that now you're going to take care. It doesn't have to repeat the drama again. Each time a similar situation happens, that this little girl gets triggered, or this little boy. And take it back into your heart, into this present moment. And again, it doesn't mean sometimes we have to leave situations. Sometimes we have to leave people, because they may teach us something, but they're not meant to stay, because they will repeat their program again and again and again, which is not in alignment anymore with us, once we have been able to integrate that past memory and to heal that past memory without having it again playing into our now moment. So to be in this world, but not from this world, is not to then identify with this emotion, not to identify with this feeling. Still feeling it and honoring it, but knowing it's not you. It's not all of you that is that feeling. We let it really in, but then we let it pass like a cloud on the sky. And we may have to do that with certain emotions again and again and again, and with certain triggers again and again and again, especially when it comes to intimate relationships or people that are really dear to us, because there is our programming that we may have certain expectation, or we crave some attention or love or whatever it is. And if that doesn't get fulfilled the way that we want it to be fulfilled, that we expect it, it hurts us. Or we may even have a program that tells us then that we tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we are not lovable enough, that we are boring, that we are strange, or that you never deserve to have something that is really working out. So in that moment, just stop your brain and go back into your heart and be like, okay, what part of me is speaking? What part of me from the past has this memory? And just come back into the now where everything subsides. So become that emotion in that moment, but do not identify. It's not your identity. It's not who you are. Realizing that everything is within, letting go of expectation, and knowing that in the now moment, from a perspective of the divine, if you tune into your higher guidance, into your higher selves, into your heart, you see that everything just is. Yes, in the human mind, we judge it as bad and good, let's say. But from a divine perspective, from a high divine perspective, it is just what it is. Without good and bad, without hate or love, it just is this state of unconditional love. So remember, being in this world, being human, but navigating the humanness from your higher selves and from your heart, because that makes your life much easier, especially as an empath, especially as a highly sensitive person. To always bring yourself back in the moment. When you feel get overwhelmed by emotions, you get overwhelmed by your programming of telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you're not belonging here. Go back. Come into that now moment and just check in what program is happening here right now. What did it trigger? And just feel it, honor it, embrace it, express it. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. If you need to dance and move it through your body, dance. If you need to go running, run. If you need to go to nature, go to nature and do what you need to do and let it go and come back and know that within your heart is just what it is, and it has nothing to do with that person or that situation just in front of you, and that everything is a divine agreement. Everything that we are perceiving to be. And an agreement to walk each other home, to be in this world, but not from this world. To live our humanness in its fullest. And of course, sometimes we get caught up in our humanness, and that's fine too. But then to come back into your heart, into your higher self, checking in with your guidance, your divine guidance, and check in what is really happening right now. Am I present, or did I just go back to the past? So I just wanted to share that with you, because I feel, especially right now, it's such an important time of deep clearing of emotions, old emotions, ancestral healing, a lot of heartache that gets healed right now. Lots of old programs, because we are ascending to a new timeline. That means we have to let go of our old self, of the old programming that is heavy and dense, that has nothing to do anymore with who we truly are. So I just want to show you one time more this card. So remember, Earth, learning how to be human how to be human in the world, but not of it. So I send you lots and lots of love, and big hug wherever you are. Bye.